Most of us enjoy going to the circus and watching the animals perform, but we hardly think about the things that they go through when the show is not going on. Many people are unaware that the animals are being forced to perform and do tricks, and they are treated bad and unfairly if they don't choose to listen. These circuses that force animals to perform are truly the cruelest shows on earth. There are other options for entertainment in the circus we can look for that doesn't include animals performing. In researching this speech, I really learned about the physical and mental abuse that these animals constantly have to go through. Today, I will talk to you about the harsh conditions that they endure, such as abuse, confinement, and stress, and why it should be banned. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, animals are trained through abuse and are drugged so they are easier to control. Many people has gotten footage of the horrible ways the trainers force them to learn the tricks. The horrific things they use, such as bull hooks, whips, tight collars, muzzles, electric prods, and other horrible tools to hurt and punish these innocent animals. Trainers will continue until they're bleeding and bruised, and sometimes even leave them with broken bones or cause them death, which is truly sad. The animals are forced to go without food and water for prolonged periods of time if they don't perform well during their training sessions. They deprive the animals of their basic needs, and they want them to stay afraid and break them of their spirit so they can comply. Now that we have heard about the horrific abuse, we now are going to go into the confinement that they are put through. The living conditions at circuses consistently fail to meet the animals' most basic needs. The average circus travels for 48 weeks of the year, and during that time, the animals are confined to tiny cages, which are only big enough to stand and turn around it. They are kept in these cages for very long hours, and for wild animals, they're supposed to be able to roam free and carry out behaviors natural to their species. They're being hauled around the country from different venues on tractor trailers. In these tractor trailers, they are usually cramped, filthy, sweltering, and have no ventilation. Sadly, animals end up dying from the heat and exhaustion in these trailers. Animals only get a couple hours out of their cages, and they have to spend the rest of their time in their cages, which is truly no way to live. Now that you've heard about their living conditions, now let's turn to how they are stressed and what it does to their mental and physical health. The captive state which these poor animals experience leads to mental disorders related to anxiety, shorter lifespans, and physical disabilities. The loud noise of music and people, the dizzying lights which makes them disoriented, causes stress which results in abnormal behaviors from the animals. Sometimes the animals end up harming or even killing themselves. Animals are so stressed that they have snapped because of the stress of circus life. The poor animals end up going on rampages and causing harm to people and property damage, and the sad part is that they end up being killed because of it. Animals end up having joint problems because they are not allowed to roam freely. The animals sometimes end up sick with tuberculosis and end up spreading it to their trainers. The circus allows members of the public to feed and pet the animals even when the animals are sick, which also puts the public people at risk. It just shows how they really don't care about the animals and us. So as we talked about The circus animals go through horrific living conditions, and they shouldn't have to experience this treatment, and it should be banned. The training of circus animals is a dark and disturbing world and is hidden from the public eye. I focus on the terrible abuse, confinement, and stress they have to constantly go through. Animals are meant to live free and not used for entertainment. These circuses contribute to unnecessary animal abuse just for the sake of human entertainment. It is cruel and it has to stop and be banned everywhere. So before you think about going to the circus, think about all the pain and suffering that they have to go through just for your entertainment.